EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
And there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. This defense for the Colts, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 29-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, I'd say we're well past the time that we're trying to work out the kinks of the season, aren't we? We're already into Week 3, and he's looking really, really strong. Already has won an AFC Player of the Week award.
Yeah, did that a week ago in Week 2 with runs like that and then some. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Quick throw completed by Watson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. They go up the middle with Chubb. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Nick Chubb. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Browns will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. The extra point by York is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Here's Corral. This one completes Alec Pierce. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On first down, Corral. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump-off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Corral buying time to his left. That one finds Pierce right side. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Rodrigo Blankenship and the Colts field goal unit comes on. There, this one will be a 29-yard attempt. Blankenship's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
The Browns drive about to get started. With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. A give running right is Chubb. Room here to run. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front, because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After one, a 14-3 ball game. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Taylor. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
On 3rd down, Corral. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3. He's got a man, complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. 102 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on 3rd down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on 3rd down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
They'll run for it. Chubb, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd and 10, here's Corral. Got a man. It's complete to Jelani Woods. And he'll be out right at the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And this defense not giving him anything there, maybe a yard up to the 36.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Corral looking to pass, 2nd down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Faking the give. Now Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Watson off play action. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. For the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Here's Watson. He's got Njoku over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 1st down marker at the 11.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, Definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Back to throw, Corral. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Let's go now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Third and long, Corral. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Browns drive about to get started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. He's got a man complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. Now Corral. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Unfortunately, they got to him and forced the fourth down.
Now on fourth down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackle made by Grover Stewart.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner, but at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Corral getting right back to it after the pick 6. He'll dump this off to Taylor, complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, Corral. And he's got Pierce. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Browns drive about to get started. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. A good run by Chubb on first down as he'll get about 6 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Chubb running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the gun on 3rd, Watson going out wide, finds Chubb. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
We'll get this up to about the 44.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Corral to throw, 1st and 10. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Colts are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. The toss here completed to Pittman. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Touchdown, Colts! Michael Pittman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now down to 20. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Browns drive about to get started. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him go out there with a little bit more confidence.
129 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They go with Chubb on second down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 27-yard line. 21 yards there on third down. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. He's able to get 6. A nice pickup down to the 21. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You take in charge.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Extra point by York is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 30 on second down, Corral. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On third down, here's Taylor. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 4th down, here's Corral. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they take a knee. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. And they will take a knee here. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. Well, if you step back and look at this, CD, a pretty impressive victory. Not the best defense in the NFL they were going against, but it is a top 10 defense in this league, and they're pretty sound, but yet they found a way to get it done and get the victory.
Yeah, I got to give them credit because I think their game plan was really, really strong for this one. They knew where they wanted to attack. They knew how they wanted to execute, and they did it with confidence and a little bit of verve as well.
So for the Browns, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.